Ratchet. Ratchet. No. Nope. No. Something smaller. There we go. Perfect. Now I thought I'd seen everything in the form of small ratchets. The good people over at Chrome reached out and asked if I wanted to review their micro ratchet. About a year or so ago, I did a review on this little guy. Video did pretty good, got a couple views. And while this little dude from Clutch is tiny, don't get me wrong, it dwarfs the Icon ratchet, but I have a feeling this Chrome is gonna make that thing look massive. So I've had this box for a few days and I have not opened it up yet. I was waiting for you guys to do that with, and I'm kind of excited. It is very small. If you look at the size of the ratchet set with just the box here, I have a feeling that we're gonna be in for quite a surprise. So let's get it open. Just for reference, I'll be using the Icon mini ratchet so we can kind of tell the size difference here. Oh my goodness. Look at how small this thing is. I thought the micro ratchet from Icon was small, but Chrome, you really knocked it out of the park with this. Here's that same ratchet next to a quarter. Okay, so just like most of these micro ratchets, they are not quarter drive, 3/8 drive, whatever. They're more bit drivers, so it does use a 1/4 inch hex bit. This is a 60 tooth ratchet. Comes in right at 2 inches, maybe 2 1/16, and it weighs in at just 18 grams. Just for reference again, the Icon ratchet weighed in at 58 grams. So in the little set, you do get a 1/4 inch extension. If you notice the lines going down the side of the extension, when you match them up with that dot, you will get a complete pass-through. This way you can use it like a T-handle. If you want a little bit more extension on your T-handle, there is a groove right about here. If you don't line up the dots on the extension and the ratchet, it just becomes an extension. The fitment is nice and tight. You also have a magnetic coupler for the extension to fit into to give you a 4 inch micro ratchet. This size now is pretty comparable to the Icon. It is reversible and you can use it with any socket adapter. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but hey, it feels like it would take it. So a lot of you are probably saying to yourself, what in the world would I do with a ratchet this small? Is it even useful? Let's put it to the test. I need to change the EGR valve on my pickup back there, and I'm gonna do the job using only this Chrome micro ratchet. Probably gonna need the extension. All right, got the EGR valve down there. First need to undo that clip on the EGR tube. Try not to launch it in the back of the engine compartment. There we go. Now there are 2 bolts on the valve, one on the front right here, and then one in the back. Take this Framatome clip out of there. There we go. And let's see if it'll break these 8s off. Oh yeah, pretty easy. Let's try the other side. That one had a little bit of stick on it, but it did the job pretty well. There's one. There's 2. And the EGR tube should just come right on out of there. Easy peasy. So I'm sure these guys are gonna be a lot harder to see, but there's some bolts down there somewhere. As far as I know, these things have never come off, so let's see how it does. Got that one. One thing I forgot to mention about this dude is the thumb wheel on the back of it. It's one of my favorite items on a ratchet. So once you crack it loose, you can just use your fingers outside of it to get the fastener off. Longest bolt ever. There we go. It's one. Let's see about the other one. All right, let's go. Broke it loose. Wow, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And there is the EGR valve. Alright, so this little ratchet did a fantastic job. Was that job overkill for this little guy? Yeah, probably. But it did it, and it did it really well. I'm going to save you the boring part of putting the valve back on because I need to torque some of this stuff, and this isn't a torque wrench. It would help me get the fasteners on, but you get the idea. The added functionality of having a pass-through with a T-handle is always a plus. Using it as an extension, like I did not break those fasteners loose with just the 2-inch section. I did have the extension on it to make my life a little bit easier, and just to get a better handhold on it. So for a ratchet, just slightly bigger than a quarter, this thing did great, did everything I asked it to do. So who's this little guy marketed for? Is it going to be a heavy-duty diesel tech? Is it going to be an auto? Is it going to be the average homeowner? Personally, I think this would feel right at home in a machinist's box. Somebody dealing with small screws and parts like from electrical equipment, maybe building computers, working on cell phones, that type of thing. I think it would do just perfect for that. But it is no slouch for some heavy work. I used this thing today on a 13-liter diesel engine. I wasn't putting a ton of torque down, but it did help speed up some jobs where I was just having to thread a small screw in over and over and over. And as you see with the truck, it does its job pretty well on just the average repair. So how does the Chrome and the Icon compare? Well, both are 1/4-inch bit drivers. Both of them are reversible. Both have thumb wheels. The Chrome gets added points for being so ridiculously small. If there was one thing I wish the Chrome Micro Ratchet had, it would be an indexable head like the Icon. However, in this size, you don't really have a lot of necessity for a flex head. It would be kind of neat, but it's absolutely not necessary. The packaging is extraordinary. This little guy would fit right in a toolbox drawer. It would feel right at home inside the Harbor Freight micro box. It's well built, it's a conversation piece, it's funny, and for $20 on Amazon, I mean, come on, can you really pass this thing up? I think it's worth it. This is a great everyday carry micro ratchet. I have plans for a future video of making a toolkit that will fit under the back seat of a motorcycle, and I'm going to use this guy in that video because it's the perfect size for a travel tool, especially on motorcycles. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Get you one. I guarantee everybody at your shop or all your friends will be laughing their butts off when they see this thing, especially if you show up for some heavy work. If you have any questions about the Chrome Micro Ratchet, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to you ASAP. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for anything else I should take a look at, just drop me a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And as always, thank you for watching. Come on.